entertainer, entrepreneur, email marketing master, David Kamatoy, the most talented Filipino comic juggler, rock star, radio personality, hitman you're ever going to meet. Okay, he's not a rock star. Say hello to my little friend, David Kamatoy.
Welcome to Blog This. It's the first episode. Again, who should be watching the show? If you're an entertainer, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're into e-marketing, then this is the show for you. So let's start with the basics. What is a blog? A blog is basically a website that is turned into daily or weekly journal type entries. That's the way it started. What happened was people started using the concept of blogging to get more traditional with article writing, as well as covering everything from the crazy and funny to the very serious. Bloggers or writers writing on websites that are called blogs. It's like talk radio became podcasting, and broadcasting became video blogging, and newspaper writing or article writing became blogging. That's it in a nutshell. So it's just a recontextualizing of traditional media. The difference is that we're more apt to rough drafts than ever before. We're more apt to different content or different forms of content than ever before. What you're watching right now is me in a green room. I'm in a green screen little studio in our studios at the No More Geysers Kamatoy Media Group studios in San Diego, California. What's unique about the content of this show is that it's literally going to be on random formats, whatever is available at the time. If we have zero to no budget and a small camera and we find something interesting, we'll shoot it, and if it's usable, we'll show it. If it's something where we've got a great shooter and a great camera, we happen to be on the set of an industrial or a music video or covering a large event, then you're going to see some better footage. But all of it is going to be used as much as we possibly can. Thus the concept of blogging and why content is really the driver. It's the same reason why you're going to see videos go viral. It's the same reason that you or anyone else can create something that just takes the net by storm, promoting yourself, your business, or your name. Blog This is basically what we find, what we blog about, and what hopefully you find interesting. We'll be right back, and we're going to start off with some interesting content, the Facebook me, the Twitter this, and of course, Blog This content. I'm David Kamatoy. We'll be right back. Blog This.
Hi, just Rodney here. This is a brand new product, No More Geysers. Chris, tell me what this product is and how it works.
Well, what the product is a shutoff valve at the base of a riser that prevents unwanted geysers when a sprinkler head breaks off.
We drive down the road, we see this geyser come up in the air, and you're saying that most of the time, if your sprinkler head breaks, that this is going to stop the water from flowing. I'm skeptical. But he's giving me a golf club. He's going to let me knock this riser off of its head, and we're going to see if it shoots up in the air. I say it's going to shoot up in the air.
No geyser. You're just going to see the rest of the sprinklers work normally, and the geyser will stop automatically every time without fail.
Wow! There really is no more geysers. We're a green company. We want to save you money, save you water, and we want to save the planet. So call us at 1-800-366-7394.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm David Kamatoy. In this section we talk about the news, stuff that we find interesting, stuff that we blog about, the concept of the show. So we invite you to blog this and blog anything that you find interesting. In our first story, in Blog This, we are blogging about smartphones. That's right, cell phones and the smartphone war continues. The Palm Pre Plus was just released to sort of a golf clap, but we dig it on Verizon Network. Some of the cool things about the Palm Pre Plus is that they've doubled the memory, got rid of the little trackball, which nobody seemed to like, but more importantly and more in a cool kind of way, have made it so that it can be a hotspot hub. That's right, your cell phone, a Palm Pre Plus, can be a hub, a Wi-Fi hotspot for your notebook computer or your other little gizmos and gadgets that need Wi-Fi. Why is that cool? well, you don't need a card and you have one less thing to carry, but it's pretty cool. The Palm Pre Plus is now available on Verizon, originally available on Sprint, and we've seen it on 24. What would Jack Bauer do? So check that out. That's the first part of the Palm Pre Plus available on Verizon. Part 2 of the smartphone war, the Nexus 1 drops its fees. That's right, there's been great... The Nexus 1 is this bitchin' phone that's so fast it's scary. Available only through Google, but the reality of having the phone, it's caused some problems because basically, you know, they're figuring out customer support. And believe me, I know all about trying to figure out customer support. God bless you, Google, for jumping into that one. But Google, after some major complaints, has dropped its crazy $500 early termination fee, which I believe was originally $550 to $350, which is more reasonable within, you know, the scope of phones. I think somebody's still losing money on that one. But anyway, the Nexus 1 runs at a crazy 1 megahertz speed, and if you're geeky into fast phones, fast cars, then, you know, definitely look at the Nexus 1. Also, in smartphone news, now if you're into the bargain basement, if you're like, I love smartphones, but I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to spend $100 to $180 a month. I've been downsized. I can't spend $200 a month on phones, and like I did before, and I get that. Boost Mobile has crossed over from IDN technology and has now opened up its CDMA technology because it's owned by Sprint. So now you can go prepaid on CDMA, which means better call quality, and they added a smartphone. They added the BlackBerry 8330, which has gotten great reviews up to June of 2009, when basically all the other smartphones came out, like, you know, the Palm Pre. So it's a good phone. It allows you to do a lot of the basic smartphone stuff. 10 email accounts. It's a BlackBerry. It's a Crackberry. It's a great phone. But the cool thing is $60 a month for unlimited with no contract. You have to buy the phone. It's about $250, but then it's $60 a month. I mean, that's probably the best deal that you can get on a smartphone if you don't want all the bells and whistles and the toys of the Palm and the Nexus and the iPhone. Comically enough, and I wrote this on the blog, the iPhone really came to market first, and they've become the PC of the smartphone world. Because I am not native Mac right now, we use Mac in the office as well as PC, I don't have a need for an iPhone, and I really want to look at where the other markets are going. So I'm looking at other smartphones. However, if I was completely native to Mac, and I was a heavy user of iTunes and podcasts, then I would definitely go with an iPhone. The Palm Pre, I've always been a fan of Palm way back when. I used to have an OmniSky, for those people who don't even know what that is, but I had email on a little Palm. I had a little separate modem I plugged in, had my own little keyboard. Yeah, it was totally geeky. But people were, wow, that's cool. But anyway, the Palm is very elegant. The applications like Synergy rock. Love the way that it brings in both your Facebook content, your Facebook contacts, as well as your phone contacts, as well as your Gmail contacts, all together into one Synergy. They call it Synergy. Great concept for a program, thus the elegance and the use of Palm driven towards, because Palm originally was driven towards, we want to make you more productive. I mean, who doesn't remember when everybody had the Palm, you know, the Palm day thing, and it went ding, and everybody lived by these little dings on their Palm organizer. It was, I mean, it was a productive time, and I really hope that Palm is able to break back into the market with the Palm Pre Plus and the Palm Pre. That being said, the second quarter, this is my final advice in this inaugural show about smartphones. The second quarter is going to be probably your best bet at making a choice on a smartphone. Why? Because the Nexus 1 is coming to Verizon. So now Verizon will have BlackBerry, Palm, and not only Droid, but the Nexus 1. So if you want to write a big check and get into smartphones, the second quarter is the time to really do your homework and figure out if you want to go with an iPhone or if you want to go with one of the other smartphone concepts. And they're all available on Verizon, which is a very large network, a very large 3G major coverage network. So anyway, check that out. In the Twitter This category, we invite you to Twitter this. Google Buzz is out. That's right. Google is taking on Facebook and Twitter by adding a social media update thing called Buzz. Love the name. Simple. Like all of Gmail and Google's projects. But if you are already a Gmail user, you probably clicked on the button and looked at it. I love the way this thing does. You can embed links. That's pretty cool. My prediction is that new users to Gmail or early users will probably be able to ingrain themselves into using Google Buzz, because we were early to Twitter and Facebook and MySpace. It's not as attractive to me as, because I'm busy updating Twitter accounts. So, for me to update yet another thing, I don't really do that. But also, it bodes to my theory as an e-marketer, as a founder of Juggling Mail, to say that I like to keep my email specifically more personable and more real. You're going to see more real business-to-business type content that is not public. When you're on a public network like Twitter or Facebook, you always have to think PR, and you have to think that whatever I say is public, and therefore we like to keep things positive. I like to keep the negative and stuff that comes back to me, stuff that could come back, more private and more in an email conversation. So I'll use Google Buzz, but I don't plan to be really buzzing a lot. I will still Twitter, Facebook, and again, that's coming from a guy who is a huge fan of Gmail and Google apps. We're heavily integrating Google Wave and Gmail and Docs, and we'll talk about that more later in the show. Also, later in the shows, I should say. Facebook me, people. Facebook me section of the show. Facebook has a bitchin' new layout. It's cool. This update we like, and what I've seen on the net, on Facebook, people like this new layout, and it makes sense. So congratulations to Facebook for making an update that makes sense. Recently, actually right before the update, I was uploading photos, and I'm like, why the heck can't I find the album that I just created to put a photo in? And honestly, I still didn't figure it out. And then they updated the page, and I'm like, oh, I just click here. So congratulations to Facebook on their new layout. I like it. So therefore, Facebook it, or Facebook me. So anyway, that ends the show, that part of the show. And again, we invite you to social media this all out. Please Facebook me, Twitter this, and of course, blog this. In the next segment of the show, the way this format lays out is that part 2 will be available, either just rolling in, matters on how we mount this, but also we want to separate part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is going to be news and media, news, what we find interesting of the day. The second part of the show is going to be a little bit more content driven. We'll be right back with Mark Christopher Lawrence, who is star of NBC's Chuck. He is in the piano lesson by August Wilson at Signet Theater here in San Diego. So if you're in town, check out that show. We're going to look at opening night of the piano lesson. Mark Christopher Lawrence, did you like working with Mark, or did you hate it? Do you have issues with him personally?
Well, Mark has...
He's standing right there, by the way.
But Mark has more lines than me, and I'm not one to give up the line leadership. No,
theater diva.
But I do have my own dressing room. It doubles as a toilet.
1930s.
Broadcasting high atop the KMG studios. Brought to you by JuggleMail.com, AirGorilla.com, and SBA Loan Store.com.
Are you an entrepreneur seeking a loan? Are you looking to expand a business? Are you looking to buy a business? Allow me to extend an invitation to SBALoanStore.com, a unique online store that deals with specific do-it-yourself information about SBA loans. As a student of entrepreneurship, you may already know that Apple, AOL, and Compaq were all companies with SBA loans. That's right, an SBA guaranteed loan. The banks are being pulled in two different directions right now. But here's the thing. They have to start lending because ultimately, that's the business of a bank. The U.S. government, as part of a stimulus package, is pouring millions of dollars into various SBA loans. How can you take advantage of such opportunities? Visit the SBALoanStore.com to see what reports are available to you.
Join the shrinking email list of DavidKamatoy.com fans. Oh, no, that's right. Join the email list. It's not shrinking.
She ain't got to sell it. I'm going to sell it. I have just as much right to that piano as she does.
I ain't selling that piano for it. That's why you come up here, then you can just forget it.
Brother looking for that piano. That's what he's looking for. He had to die to find out where that piano's at. If I was you, I'd get rid of it.
Hi, it's David Kamatoy at the opening of The Piano Lesson by August Wilson at Signet Theater, and standing next to me is our wonderful friend Mark Christopher Lawrence, star of Chuck, but this time he's on stage. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. You know, we had a great night, opening night tonight, and now we're partying over here at Cafe Coyote. Definitely come down to San Diego, you know, come on out and see the play. It's an amazing play. If you just heard the words, that'd be enough, but it just helps that we have a fabulous cast as well.
Fantastic. Now tell us, what is The Piano Lesson? Talk to us about that.
The Piano Lesson is one of the Pittsburgh cycle plays written by August Wilson. August wrote 10 plays that cover 100 years of African-American history in the United States, and 2 of them won Pulitzer Prizes, and this is one of them. The springboard is a piano that family's legacy is carved on, and my character wants to sell it.
She ain't got to sell it. I'm going to sell it. I have just as much right to that piano as she does.
I ain't selling that piano for it. That's why you come up here, then you can just forget it.
Brother looking for that piano. That's what he's looking for. He had to die to find out where that piano's at. If I was you, I'd get rid of it.
I play Doker. I play the head of the family, kind of. You know, this is my house that everything happens in. I'm the patriarch, and I'm the old wise man who sort of is the connection to all the traditions that we're talking about.
One of the siblings wants to sell the piano so that he can get some land to make his life better. The other sibling wants to keep the piano so that she, for sentimental values. It's been in the family since slavery.
Madeline Hornbuckle.
Madeline Hornbuckle. And you're playing?
Maritha.
Maritha. And now tell us a little bit about your character in The Piano Lesson.
She's the daughter of Bernice.
Look at it, Doja. She done got big. She got big. Yeah, she getting up there.
And I play Avery. I play the pastor, and
That was hard to explain. I knew right then that I had been filled with the Holy Ghost and called to be a servant of the Lord.
And I play the guy that's trying to win over Bernice's hand in marriage.
It went lovely.
She said it was lovely. Most of my life.
Her love interest, and he's trying to get her to bring her up and get her from to have a better life for herself. So I actually follow her up from Pittsburgh. Follow her up from down south up to Pittsburgh to ask her for a hand in marriage so I can give her a better life.
Tanya Johnson Herring, the love interest.
The love interest.
Come see the show just to see her.
In that red dress.
In that red dress.
What has been the best part of the process of the show for you?
Just had a ball each rehearsal working with these people. It's just been phenomenal. I mean, the first rehearsal off, the first read through, the energy was just so intense.
My favorite moments are when Doker is talking, because I just love to hear that guy talk. The actor Antonio T.J. Johnson is just an amazing force on stage.
My favorite part was when we were all laughing together, and because whenever they swore, they had to give me a quarter, so that was always a good part. I made a lot of money from that.
$10 down.
I think the one that I have the most fun in is the hustle scene, where I'm trying to sell the suit to Lions.
A little about Mark Christopher Lawrence. Did you like working with Mark, or did you hate it? Do you have issues with him personally?
Well, Mark has...
He's standing right there, by the way.
But Mark has more lines than me, and I'm not one to give up the line leadership. No,
theater diva.
You know, and but I do have my own dressing room. It doubles as a toilet.
1930s, post-slavery. Right. How important is it for people to come see this show in the context of where we are in history right now?
Sure. Well, I think it's never too late to learn about your history, whether you're African American, Caucasian, and learn about your family tree. I think it's important because you have to know where you came from, because I think a lot of times people are afraid to go back into their past because of how they live presently and what's happening.
For me, the process is about August Wilson and what he's trying to do with all of his cycle stories. He's trying to tell the story of what happened to the African American, and he connects us back 400 years, and he actually shoots us forward in time. And this one is sort of the piece that talks about tradition and family.
This show is very important in the scope of the last 100 years, and that now we're living in an era where we have a black president, and this is just a slice of life of African American history.
Come see the piano lesson at Signet Theater, which is in O-Town, which is really cool.
We are here at Cafe Coyote, and with the lovely
Carolyn,
and the food is awesome. So definitely, if you're in San Diego, you come to Old Town to see the show, stop in at Cafe Coyote, get the shrimp. The shrimp were amazing.
Please come out and see Signet Theater's production of The Piano Lesson. I play the character of Avery, and trust me, it's going to be a time of your life. Come see The Piano Lesson here in San Diego.
SignetTheater.com. Signet, CYGNET, Theater, THEATRE.com. We run throughout February, Wednesdays through Sundays, 2 shows Saturdays, 2 shows Sunday.
Beautiful. Once again, Mark Christopher Lawrence, David Kamatoy. Peace.
I provided some time for them, some little platforms and carry on.
This is David Kamatoy for JuggleMail.com, your ultimate email marketing program online. We have a system that's called Hot Prospects, and it's sort of hidden. A lot of people don't talk about it, but here's the deal. When you send out an email on our Juggle Mail system, you can track hot prospects. What that simply means is this. You can identify who opens and cares about your email based on the interactivity. So your sales team or you can basically look at our integrated CRM and pull up the names and call the people, the top 10, the top 12, the top 50, that actually care about the email that you sent. You go to the site right now, we will give you a free 1-month subscription with 100 emails so that you can test our system. That's a free trial for 100 emails for 1 month. JuggleMail.com. Oh. Look, again, I'm juggling so you can't forget the name.
Transworldnews.com. News, profiles, finance, interviews, top stories. Do you want to see your name, project, or business in the headlines? Submit a press release at transworldnews.com to the internet search engines, as well as up to 24,000 press rooms and periodicals. Try the service for free at transworldnews.com and mention davidkamatoy.com. That's transworldnews.com.
Ready? We'd like to thank all of our sponsors. I can't think while I'm doing this. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors and clients. That's right, no more geysers, H2O, Fatal Funnel, Juggling Mail, SBA Loan Store, and AirGorilla.com. Ah!